So I got in a conversation on another social media page about why I don't really buy ingredients for my witchcraft practice anymore. And it's because my dog's going nuts. I have 2 acres. My home has been so intrinsically a part of my journey, not only to house and care and nurture from me and my family, the way that I came to acquire it, and it was entirely magically driven and intuitively found, because it was the medicine that was needed, and my medicine was needed on this particular piece of property. And since then, I have become this kind of bridging of gaps, bridging the divide kind of energy. You know, I say I'm a tower moment, but I also am the moment when everything is in the rubble and the dust is starting to settle, that reaches the hand out and says, I know we are vastly different, but we can agree on our humanity. So there's that. And the land, this particular property, is what taught me everything. So I'm an animist, and I'm pantheist, and I believe in God is in everything, and therefore everything has a sacred. But I'm also, you know, as I said, an animist. So I have spent the last 3 years on this property getting to know red clover, getting to know wild carrot, Queen Anne's lace, getting to know yarrow, beech and birch, the hemlocks. The hemlocks, they sing. They love singing. Who knew? But all I have to do now is sit outside or even inside my room now and be like, oh, I don't have any such and such. I don't have any cleansing like herb or whatever. I don't have this. And I'll hear outside, get outside. It's right there. And I'll find a new plant. And another thing I've learned, and this is from the land itself and also from a sister who lives in Canada, was that if I've noticed, which I have, every year different plants are emphasized. Sometimes I'll get, like the first year I got a lot of mullein, or that's the one I referred to as colonizer cough drops, which is hilarious. And now I can't unsee it because it is an invasive species and not native to America. So it does need to be culled. So use it if you have it. But I had a lot of mullein, and we had so many upper respiratory stuff that year. And if I had known what I know now, then I would have understood what that means. So making this video so you can see, if you go out to your front yard or backyard, or if you don't have a yard, you're in a field and you see these things, maybe you have a little medicine. Of course, understand where you're sourcing it from. If you're getting it from a roadside parking lot, public park, you don't know what's sprayed on it, try not to ingest it. If you are in somebody's yard and say, hey, can I take some of that? And they know what that, you know. Also, if you see anything from my yard you need, I do work down at the Magic Moon. You just let me know and I'll pick it and dry it. Because I got a lot of stuff. So I'm going to start with purple loosestrife, because you're going to see this blooming right now all over the place. This is it. She's beautiful. I think she's gorgeous. She is very, very invasive. She's actually, you can't cultivate her. You can't, expand their footprint because they are highly invasive. Purple loosestrife is very similar in energetics, magical energetics, to vervain, which is a really powerful herbal ingredient. But this one is all over the place right now. Vervains can be a little harder to find if you're in the US, but you can substitute. This is also, it's a magical charm, but if you put it in a room with friends who are fighting or in a disagreement, family who's not seeming to get along, this is a peacemaking herb. It does that. How cool! So while it is a herb to bring harmony, peace, and protection, and protecting your peace, it also has medicinal properties. But I'm not a professional herbalist, so take this with a grain of salt and consult with your doctor or your local holistic medicine specialist. But I do believe that this is something that can stop bleeding. You can use it for eye injuries and things like that. At the very least, I do know that this has the similar energies to vervain, in that it is a powerful, peace-bringing, harmonious, and spiritual herb that can enhance your space and your energetics for magical workings. And right next to her, we have Queen Anne's lace, wild carrot. This is great for love charms and also more peace and protection. But also, this is a third eye opener. It's good for intuition and intuitive enhancement workings. So, also really fun, as a little aside, something I do with my kids every year is I get, food dye, artificial food dye, or, you can make your own natural if you want to. Food dye, and you put it in the water and you cut the flowers and you put them in, and it'll turn the flowers the color of the water. It's a fun science experiment. We love it. Of course, now we have goldenrod, which is often vilified by people with seasonal allergies. Most of the time it could be incorrectly attributed to it, though, because ragweed also blooms at the same time as goldenrod. And goldenrod is the antidote. Well, not antidote, but it can give you relief to or prevent symptoms of seasonal allergies, unless, of course, you have a goldenrod specific allergy, which you won't be able to tell unless you have had an allergy test. But there is powdered goldenrod capsules that you can get at Whole Foods stores and holistic medicine stores, because it is a allergy reliever. As I said, not a professional herbalist, consult your doctor, but that is something that I know about this. But goldenrod is great for prosperity workings, money workings, increasing your abundance and prosperity and financial situations. There is a legend that says wherever goldenrod is growing, gold is buried. I wish this were true, because, hold on. Goldenrod, goldenrod, goldenrod. Alas, I don't think I have that much gold in them hills. Red clover has been my best friend and ally since I have moved in here. It is a hormone regulator in teas and stuff. It is great for women's health and just an all-over regulation of your metabolism and hormones and things. For magical purposes, the luck, the money, the prosperity, the love workings. I like it for peace in my house between 3 small children, 2 dogs, and 2 adults. It's great. So I usually just make bundles and dry them, and I'll make them into pretty things, or I'll just hang them around the house because I think they're pretty when they're dried too. And finally, if you're in New York State, you'll probably see a lot of mugwort. Now, mugwort is not native to America. In fact, it is an invasive species, and in New York State, I'm spelling it, you're not really supposed to cultivate it, you're not supposed to spread it, and you're not supposed to plant it or buy it as a plant to put in your yard because of its invasive nature. However, if you have it already growing, you're allowed to, just keep it. Just try not to increase the population of mugwort because it does outcompete the native species. So another great reason to harvest it on a regular basis so it doesn't spread and outcompete our native flora. Oh, and also I just found this little treasure. Look at this, it's jewelweed. Jewelweed. Jewelweed is our antidote for poison ivy. Which means it's probably growing somewhere in there. But yeah, so we have jewelweed in here too. So if you have that, it's the antidote to poison ivy. I don't think I've ever used it for magical purposes, but I'm going to have to look into it and sit with it. So how I study each thing is I let the plant teach me. In addition to doing the research, I will sit with the plant. So what I plan on doing with the jewelweed is I will probably take a small cutting, of course asking permission and doing it in the parameters of the proper understanding of reciprocity and gratitude. And I will take it to my altar space and I will meditate with it. I'll hold it, I'll put it on my third eye, I will put it in water and divine with it. And when it is finally dried up on the altar space, I will burn it and waft the smoke to understand it. And I will make notes like a scientist, spiritual scientist, if you will. I'm going to need a part 2.